We're going to turn our attention now to New York City, where opening statements are underway right now in the sex trafficking trial for hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs. Now, federal prosecutors in this case, they've accused Combs of turning his hip-hop conglomerate into a racketeering enterprise that forced women and men to satisfy his sexual desires for 2 decades. Combs has pleaded not guilty to the 5-count indictment that could land him in prison for at least 25 years if he's convicted on all charges. Now, here's what we are getting from the courtroom right now about the opening statement that's going on. Remember, no cameras in federal court, but during the prosecution's opening statement, prosecutor Emily Johnson told the jury, quote, "To the public, he was Puff Daddy, or Diddy, a cultural icon, a businessman, larger than life. But there was another side to him, a side that ran a criminal enterprise. You're going to hear about 20 years of the defendant's crimes." And those who were inside the courtroom said this is when Sean Diddy Combs, there in the courtroom at the defense table, leaned back in his chair. Now, the prosecutor focused a good bit of her opening statement on Cassie Ventura, detailing the alleged incident when Combs paid for hotel security footage of him abusing Ventura. That's according to the prosecution. Now, Prosecutor Johnson said that Combs arranged for his workers to pay for what they thought was the sole copy of footage with a brown paper bag filled with $100,000 in cash. Now, we'll continue to monitor that courtroom closely and give you updates out of it. Our Kelly Craft is there inside of the courthouse. So once she's able to leave, get to her electronics and join us, we will tell you what we can about what's going on inside of that courtroom. Let's bring in our civil rights and trial attorney, Lateef Gray, to weigh in on this case. Lateef, I was just mentioning there, Cassie Ventura being mentioned a lot, and we know she's going to be one of the first prosecution witnesses, and they expect that she's going to be on the stand for a week. Talk about the impact of someone like her being on the stand in front of this jury really out the gate.
Well, she's a victim as seen by the video, seen around the world, so I'm sure she's going to get on the stand and tell her story of her dealings with Sean Combs, and it probably won't be pretty for Sean Combs. And so I'm sure his defense team will want to cross-examine her and grill her about every detail, about every aspect of her life that's relevant to this case. So I understand why she'll be on the stand for a week, but the defense might want to be careful because depending on how she comes out, she could sink their case from the start.
From the very beginning, that is quite possible. And Lateef, speaking of alleged victims, accusers in this case, up until Friday, the prosecution was having a difficult time confirming whether one of the alleged victims in their indictment is even going to be showing up in court. Victim number 3 in the indictment. The defense said they wanted to know if they are going to testify. The prosecution said, we don't know for sure if she's going to testify. We're still trying to reach her attorney. We're having trouble. Is it surprising to you that a prosecuting attorney wouldn't have more smooth interaction with an alleged victim who was going to be, no doubt, after Cassie, one of the star witnesses?
Well, this happens. You know, victims or witnesses sometimes in the beginning, they're gung-ho about testifying and participating in the process. But as time goes on and they see that, you know, their lives could be rearranged and their business could be put out in the street, they sometimes want to take a step back and not actually participate in the trial portion of this case.
And this is a case that's gotten a lot of attention. We have some video from overnight, Lateef, where people were camped out before it even got dark yesterday in New York City. They were there along the sidewalk in tents and chairs, and we understand that there were some people offering their seat for hundreds of dollars if someone wanted to take their space in line. And we do sometimes see this for very high-profile trials. This is a federal trial, so even more of a need for people to be inside because you can't see what's going on there. We also saw the support for Diddy this morning. His family arriving, and we understand his mother, Janice Combs, is there. His sons have been really big supporters of his as well. They've been vocal in the media. So people coming there in front of the courthouse, the front entrance where they know all those cameras are going to be. Talk about the impact of that on a jury when they are inside of this courtroom that seats about 100.
Well, seeing Mr. Combs' family show up humanizes him, especially these children, his mother, because oftentimes when defendants go to trial, they have no one. So the fact that Mr. Combs has a huge support system, I think inures to his benefit as opposed to his detriment.
All right, Lateef, thank you for your comments. We will keep everyone updated on what happens there. We expect the defense's opening statements to begin immediately after the prosecution finishes theirs.